U.S. government once tried to catch an alien spaceship using flypaper, and it almost worked.
You're probably thinking, okay, that's clearly a meteor. Green fireballs are just space rocks. Scientists figured it out immediately. That's what a reasonable person would think.
Wrong. Dead wrong. These things were behaving so strangely that the U.S. Air Force, the FBI, the CIA, and America's top nuclear scientists all agreed. This was not a meteor, and they had the microscope receipts to prove it.
By the end of this video, you're going to see how a team of actual rocket scientists built a flying trap in 1949 specifically to catch alien debris. And what they found on those plates? Let's just say it raised more questions than a Senate hearing.
Keep it down. Uncle Sam thinks this is classified. But I think it's just hilarious. Welcome back to the classified Snitch. All right, let's set the scene. It's 1948 and 1949. The United States has just won World War II. They've got top-secret nuclear weapons labs scattered across New Mexico. Los Alamos, Sandia Base, the Socorro testing range. These are the crown jewels of American military power. And something keeps flying over them. Not enemy planes, not weather balloons. Bright, glowing, green fireballs. Moving fast, changing direction. Completely silent. And apparently absolutely fascinated by American nuclear facilities, which, honestly, is a totally normal hobby. Now, the government didn't just shrug this off. They hired a world-class meteor expert, Dr. Lincoln La Paz from the Institute of Meteoritics, specifically to investigate. His job? Prove these were normal meteors. Get everyone to relax. Go home. He could not do that. In fact, after months of investigation, La Paz concluded these things were not meteors. They weren't moving like meteors. They weren't burning like meteors. And they kept showing up over classified nuclear facilities like they had a Google Maps pin. So the Air Force did what the Air Force does. They formed a committee, wrote a bunch of memos, and then called in more scientists. So here's where it gets absolutely beautiful. Dr. La Paz and the team had a problem. Every time one of these green fireballs streaked across the sky, they left nothing behind. No debris, no craters, no impact sites. Just vibes. Normal meteors, they burn up, they fragment, they leave material. Iron, stone, you can find it. These things vanished completely. So Dr. W.D. Crozier, and I want you to understand, this man has a PhD, came up with the following plan. Step 1, put microscopic adhesive-coated collection plates on an airplane. Step 2, fly through the exact air corridor where the fireballs just passed. Step 3, see what sticks. That's right, they built a flying fly strip. $1 billion government response to mysterious aerial phenomena was a sticky plane. I genuinely respect it. Per the official 1949 report, these weren't just random sticky plates. These were precision microscopic collection instruments, coded specifically to trap atmospheric particles at altitude, then analyzed under high-powered microscopes at the lab. So they flew the plane right through the fireball's path, right after it happened, as fast as they could get airborne. And here is where the story gets genuinely weird. Because they found something. The official report, And I'm reading directly from the declassified 1949 document here, described highly unique, perfectly circular, opaque spheres, 12 microns in diameter, showing rich cobalt and nickel structures. Now, 12 microns is tiny. We're talking about something you cannot see with the naked eye. But under a microscope, these little balls were perfect, geometrically perfect circles. Not jagged, not irregular, perfect. And here's the kicker. The chemical composition was wrong for meteors. Normal meteors? Iron, silicates, oxygen, natural stuff. These spheres, cobalt, nickel, in a combination and formation that, per the scientists' own report, could not be attributed to normal meteoric or industrial behavior. Not a meteor, not factory pollution, not a weather balloon, not swamp gas. Just 12-micron mystery balls falling from the sky over nuclear weapons facilities.
But wait, it gets stranger. Because in the same declassified file cluster, there are letters written by scientists at Los Alamos, personal letters. One anonymous correspondent, who worked on nuclear projects from 1948 to 1951, wrote to the investigation team describing what they saw. And I quote, "I can recall several instances of green light going in and out of mountain peaks. In and out of mountains. Not over mountains, not bouncing off mountains, into them and back out. And this wasn't one person. This was multiple sightings, reported to the Protective Force headquarters, the nuclear base security team, and logged in their official records. The same letter also described 5 unidentified objects flying in formation over Los Alamos in broad daylight, southeast to northwest. 5 or 6 witnesses, including base security personnel. All of this at the facility that designed America's nuclear weapons, reported, logged, and then filed under, weird, for the next 50 years.
Now, here's my personal favorite detail in this entire document collection. At Sandia Base, nuclear weapons storage and assembly, they kept official classified document logs. And in 1949, there is an official entry in the Classified Documents Library, file number 333.5. Subject: flying objects. That's it. That's the whole entry. No asterisk. No see additional file. No explanation. Just flying objects. The U.S. government classified an entire file called Flying Objects at a nuclear base in 1949 and then apparently forgot about it for 70 years? Meanwhile, 6 months earlier at that same base, Colonel Klein was writing official memos about making sure the electric gate was locked after 5 p.m. The gate! They were worried about the gate, while green glowing objects were flying into their mountains.
By August 1949, Dr. La Paz was writing his 6th official report to the Air Force. His 6th on this one subject. The title? Anomalous Luminous Phenomena. 6th report. Attempts to collect volatilization products from green fireballs. In plain English, we built the fly paper plane. We flew it. Here's what we found. It's weird. I need a raise. La Paz wrote that since normal meteors contain iron magnetic substances, The collection plates had been designed to catch iron-like particles. Standard procedure. But his colleague Crozier made a key suggestion. Since these fireballs might actually be made of copper or copper alloys instead, which is not what space rocks are made of, they needed to redesign the collection flights entirely. Copper in a fireball over a nuclear facility. Now, I want to be very clear. Nobody in this document says the word alien. Nobody in 1949 wanted to write that word in an official Air Force memo. Their careers were already weird enough. But they did say, not a meteor, not industrial, unknown composition, repeating behavior, active interest in nuclear sites. Cannot be explained. Which, as government speak goes, is basically, we have absolutely no idea, and we are choosing not to think about it too hard.
Fast forward to 1986, 37 years after the green fireball incidents. The scientists at Los Alamos, who design nuclear weapons for a living and were not easily spooked, were still thinking about this. On May 20th, 1986, the Pajarito Astronomers Association, an internal club at Los Alamos, sent out meeting invitations. Special guest lecture. Speaker, Dr. John Warren of the AT6 Division. Topic, why should a scientist be concerned about UFOs? This was not a public talk. This was an internal meeting at the Nuclear Weapons Lab. In 1986, these were the people who built bombs. And they were still, 3.5 decades later, quietly asking each other, should we be worried about those lights we keep seeing over the mountains?
12-micron cobalt nickel spheres, flying into mountains, over nuclear weapons labs, for years. File 333.5. Filed, locked, forgotten. You're welcome. If this video made you feel like you need to lie down and a strong cup of coffee, hit subscribe, because next time, we're going inside a document about a nuclear plant that had a very unwanted visitor showing up on radar, and Sandia National Labs had to pull in enhanced imaging to figure out what it was. Keep it classified.